Okay, so today's video is how to burn your clutch up. I've got this hooked up to my benchtop power supply, and I've got my multi-tool holding that, so it's going to force the clutch to spin and embed that metal clutch plate down into the gear. So let's let it rip. And that's what can happen to your SuperBird clutch. And once it hardens again, it's not going to turn. Let's turn it back on. See? Now the reason I did this, I'll show you why in just a minute. So you're probably thinking, man, that guy's an idiot. You can't get more of these parts. Well, that simulates what happens if you do a whole lot of single fire shots with these SuperBirds and the beefier clutch spring. So this is mine, and I'm gonna go ahead and do what I've started doing standard for all the builds, and that is get that plate out of there and bore it out with an end mill bit and put that washer in there. The brass washer will give that metal plate a nice slick surface to ride on. It's low friction. So now we've got the plate off, and you can see what a mess it made. You see that hole in the left hand side? That's my grease port. So what I'm going to do is bore this down to the lowest point you see there, and that's going to be just about the right size for the washer to countersink in there. And then I'm going to drill a corresponding hole in the brass washer to match up with the grease port. And the reason that I went ahead and burned it out like I did is because I don't have a drill press and clamp and everything, but now that I have a ridge on the sides, that'll keep this end mill bit in place when I run it backwards. You gotta be careful with this. Get this thing too hot and you'll melt it. And yeah, there is a lot of glass in this polymer, so you just got to take your time and just work it down. So yeah, I've been just pushing it in the carpet to hold it still. It's got the gears on the teeth on the other side that just kind of hold it in place. Yeah, I mean, it would be a lot better if I did have a drill press, but I don't, so make do with what I got. Alright, now I've got that washer counter sunk in there, and I had to drill the grease port out again. So I'll center that up and glue it in with some rubber cement. In case it ever wears out, I'll be able to get it out. And you may ask, why go to all the trouble of that? Why don't you just put it on top? Well, because down here, where is it? This little flat spot goes on there, and if you don't get that plate on there, it's not going to be locked down. It's just going to spin with your clutch. So that's why we're going to all this trouble. So we're all leveled up and centered up. We're going to let that cure for 24 hours and put the gun back together and tune it up.